and welcome to another edition of Judgment Day, where we spend the day judging. It's very easy, very straightforward concept. Joining me, Matt Rebar, is Raina Butel and Logan Molnar.
Hey,
wow, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Professional judgers.
It is on their resume.
Grade A judgers reporting for duty. All right, jury, here we go. Here's the case. We're looking at Am I the Asshole thread. Am I the asshole for getting mad when my husband and his friend didn't eat dinner the way I prepared it?
Oh, jeez.
Listen,
I need a lot more context on this.
Just based off the title, I'm like, I might be upset if I was in her shoes too. But then part of me is like, this feels like something I wouldn't be upset about. I can't tell where I would feel. So, shall we?
Let's get into it.
All right.
Shall.
Let's get it. We need a female name. Give me a female name. Someone. Improv me.
Sasha.
Sasha.
No, go with
Sasha.
Emily. Go with Emily. Go with Emily. That one's
Okay,
better.
Emily. Sasha
They
next
go
time.
for it.
Emily now. For weeks now, Emily's been dying to make this homemade chicken Alfredo pasta recipe. Is there really a recipe to chicken Alfredo pasta? Isn't that just pasta, chicken, Alfredo sauce? Or like, she must be making real homemade from scratch. I don't know.
I don't even think I've ever had chicken Alfredo. Do not skewer me for that. I don't.
I mean,
eat
hot
Italian
take.
food.
Hot take. It is. I cannot have a whole dish of that. It is too rich and creme.
I don't like cheese, so
Okay.
I don't think I've ever had it either.
Well, guess what, girl? Emily loves it. She said she got all the ingredients and she chose to splurge on expensive Parmesan cheese.
Emily.
Girl, go to Aldi. It's there for $2. Don't splurge. Who is splurging on Parmesan cheese? Come on.
Maybe she's getting like the big wheel, like the cheese wheel. I respect
Oh my
it.
gosh. I make this every once in a while because it's not particularly healthy, but I love it with a nice glass of wine. Okay, that's exactly how I feel. Like that is not a dish I can have often at all. I had been saying, so Emily's been talking to her husband about how pumped she was to make it. She wanted to enjoy dinner and wine together. As I was making dinner, my husband comes to the kitchen and says his buddy is going to be driving by in the next 15 minutes and wanted to know if he could stop by and see my husband for a bit. I hate this. I hate this so much. If you're in the neighborhood, great. See you another time. Just because you're in the neighborhood doesn't mean that you can just come to my house and eat my Parmesan cheese.
Yeah.
Am I like, I know like back in the 60s, everyone had their doors unlocked and were just walking around town and busting in and like playing in the kitchen. Like, no, these days, like you need to call me, you need to text me and be like, what, can I hang out? Can we get drunk? I don't like the whole, I'm outside your door. No. Oh my God, that would drive me up a wall.
My grandmother lived around the block from my parents' house. And so my aunt would go over there all the time and then just like pull in our driveway and like see if we were home. So I get it. But, maybe this guy does that every once in a while. He's like, hey, I'm around, like, I'm going to come by. So.
Not in my books. It's one thing to be like, hey, what are you doing later tonight? Versus I'm outside your door. No, don't love that. Here we go. I had plenty of food to spare. I mean, because she bought the whole wheel of cheese, clearly. And I was excited to share this dish because I put a lot of time and effort into making it. I'm kind of new to cooking, and it's the one thing I've really mastered. Well, girl, it is 3 ingredients, so I hope you've mastered that. I don't really understand,
I'm like, it's really excited about chicken Parmesan or whatever this is. And
chicken Alfredo, but yeah.
Chicken Alfredo, thank you.
Listen, she can have it. I'm just saying, I don't know if this is like a
Emily
complex
needs to
thing.
do more.
Yeah, I don't know. Anywho, the friend was welcome. I told my husband, Emily said the friend was welcome for dinner. They sit at the table and I make us plates. His friend brought a 6-pack, so instead of wine, they drank beer. I thought it was odd to have a beer with Alfredo, but whatever. Oh my God. Like,
Emily.
who cares? Like, if they want beer, let them have beer. I started digging in my meal, but they are caught up chatting. After they finish their beers, my husband grabs 2 more from the fridge and brings back with him a bottle of hot sauce. Without trying a single bite, he sprays hot sauce all over his entire plate of chicken Alfredo. His friend sees what he's doing and is like, hell yeah, man, pass the hot sauce over here. And then he covers his pasta in it. The only thing I said was they might get a stomach ache from all that cheese, hot sauce, cream, and butter in their stomachs. She goes, Emily says, the way I was raised, someone cooking for you is a gift. Even if you get a crappy gift, you should at least show gratitude. I was also taught that to be polite, you always try a bit of the food before changing or modifying it. It hurt my feelings, and I thought it showed poor manners on my husband's part. Later, I told my husband how I felt, and he said I was making a big deal out of nothing. He said he should be free to eat how he likes. For the record, he did get a terrible tummy ache. So tell me, am I the asshole?
Owned. Husband is owned.
Oh my God.
What do we think? What do we think here? This is a lot.
I think Emily needs hobbies.
She and the mom from the mom who called the boss. They can hang out together.
And if you didn't listen to that podcast, you should go back and listen to that one because it's really good.
Logan always plugging this podcast. God bless her.
It's just I totally get how people who cook, you know, you have a specific, you want people to enjoy your food and maybe like don't put salt on it or eat it how it is.
Mm.
But I mean, even just starting with being upset with what people drank with it, that's a lot. Like you can't kind of force your husband friend to drink wine if he doesn't really want to. And also it's chicken Alfredo. It's not like it's I when you first read the question, I thought it was going to be maybe like a cultural thing, you know, like here's culturally how you're supposed to eat it. But no, dude, it's just chicken Alfredo. Like it's not like it's, I don't know. I just think she's maybe overreacting a little bit.
Yeah. I gotta say, I do think it's kind of rude to just like not even eat it and like then pour the hot sauce first a little bit, like just kind of take a bite. Oh, that's good. But I get how that is some basic, it is cheese, chicken, and pasta. There's no flavor, there's no spice. I totally get wanting to like va-va-voom that dish. Absolutely. So to me, that doesn't feel disrespectful. I think it's a her issue because when she said they grabbed a beer with their Alfredo, that just reeked judgment. She was on this jury and we did not invite her to this jury. So get that judginess out of here about the beer with the pasta. I mean, at the end of the day, like, who cares? Who cares about that? I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of, I don't know, like weirdness on her part that like all it takes to set you off is the hot sauce on the Alfredo pasta and the beer with the Alfredo. Like, I don't know. Like, it feels like there's no drama and she has to create the drama. I have no clue. Raina, what do you think?
Real quick, also, if she's perfected this meal, he's probably had it before. He knows what it tastes like. So
yeah,
he probably knows that I want to add a little something to it.
I think it's implied that she was sharing it for the first time. I think.
Oh, okay. Got it.
But I'm not fully sure. It just from the way she described it made it seem like he had never tried it before. So.
Okay, but again, it's chicken Alfredo. Like, I feel like if you've had one, you've had most.
Oh, yeah. I really doubt that, like, oh, this chicken Alfredo is going to be so different from
the bee's knees.
You know.
All right, Raina, sorry, go ahead.
You two have never had it with this high quality Parmesan cheese, though.
That is true.
Let's consider the cheese. It is really weird, but it seems like that's just this dude's like food character flaw. I don't know, when you drizzle hot sauce on everything, that is just weird behavior. I'm gonna go here and say it's like serial killer behavior, but that's just me and my interpretation. Maybe this guy's like food palate, there's like his like taste palate is all like messed up and that's all he can eat is hot sauce and beer. But it's pretty pretty big stretch to just make it an argument over the night. But I wonder how much of that was impacted by like this is the same as this guy like came over, right? I'm not mixing this up with a different, like the person that came over. Is that, am I thinking of a different?
Yeah, the person, his friend came over.
Okay, that's this one. I don't know why I thought it was like my mind had melted into a different judgment we made. But maybe that was part of it too then. It's just like the stress of like, oh my God, you're gonna influence this guy, your buddy, into like eating this mess of a meal that you've now created off of my perfect chicken Alfredo with hot sauce. Like, I wonder if her frustration is like compounded with the fact that now two people are eating it with hot sauce versus, oh, my husband's just psycho and he's eating hot sauce with pasta, which is, I feel like that should never be together. But yeah, I don't know. I would be stressed out if somebody just showed up to my house just in general.
Mhm.
I avoid people a lot of the time, especially COVID era. I don't hang out with people very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think one person doing it that she knows and loves would be like rolling my eyes, honey. I really don't like when you do that. But then having him influencing someone else is like, okay, now you've ruined his meal. Now I have an issue, and none of you could taste the Parmesan through the hot sauce.
Makes sense.
This feels like this was very sacred to her, and she wanted to share the sacredness with her husband, who, in her mind, disrespected her. And I think she needs to like take it down a little bit. But I wonder, part of me wonders, is it not about the hot sauce, but it's about like something greater than the hot sauce? Like, is this just like
It's gotta
another
be.
thing where the husband's just disrespected her? And it's not like about the hot sauce, but it is about the hot, what I mean? That's the only thing that has me like, is this why she is so uptight about the hot sauce? Because like that for me, like, if I made like a caprese salad and someone goes, oh, can I get some pepper? Like, I just want to like, give it a little bit loose. Absolutely. Have the pepper. I don't know.
Also,
I think there's something more here for sure.
I think he was just trying to be nice by drinking his friend's beer. If someone brings a 6-pack, you're not just going to be like, sick, thanks, and just put it away in your fridge if he's staying over. You guys are going to hang out and drink it together. So why would he, he's not just going to be like, well, I'm just going to put this away for another time with other friends. Like, I think that was just he's trying to be nice in that situation. So.
And is she like the wine police where like you have to have wine with your chicken Alfredo or else? Like, I don't know.
Is that chicken Alfredo isn't even Italian. So like, why do you have to drink wine with it? Isn't it like more American to drink some beer with it? Come on, dude.
She's like, Mamma mia, he's having a beer. I don't know. Just, that was a terrible Italian accent, but.
You should be cast in the Mario movie.
I know.
Forget Chris Pratt.
We're gonna talk about that later. So I think we're ready for judgment, are we? I think this one feels a little bit more easy than usual, but let's start with Logan. Logan, where do you fall in the judgment?
I'm gonna say you're the asshole. Let your husband do whatever he wants. It's his tummy to upset. He's also, I love that addition at the ending. I think that's hilarious.
Like basically like she's justified because like, well, he did get his stomach upset and I knew it and he's wrong. And like, okay, calm. Yeah.
I feel like she is someone who needs to be right and wants her way. And so I just think that people sometimes need to make their own decisions and that should be okay. So let your husband eat his hot sauce with his beer, damn it.
Raina, what do you think about this hot sauce debacle?
Can we get the question one more time?
Yeah, am I the asshole for getting mad when my husband and his friend didn't eat dinner the way I prepared it?
Are you the asshole? Yes, definitely. I mean, you didn't make it with the terms on how it needs to be eaten anyway. Yeah, just figure it out. Figure this out. Move on from this. And also, tell that guy not to come over like unannounced. That's like a whole nother conversation. But I think that plays a factor into this slightly.
Yeah. You know, the way she writes this makes it seem like she served them the chicken Alfredo, and then they were like, you know what? We're just going to make our own dinner, or like, we're going to take the chicken from your chicken Alfredo. We're going to fry the chicken. We're going to like recook the meal. Like, they put hot sauce on the plate. I just don't think that, I don't know. I think there's something more. I think she needs to get into that subconscious and figure out, oh, I'm not mad at him about the hot sauce. I'm mad because of X, Y, and Z.
What are the deeper issues here?
Yeah.
Well said. Well said.
Have a glass of wine or a beer, but in her world, it has to be wine, and figure it out. So no surprise here. The asshole said, the asshole, the thread said she's the asshole. So top comments include, first, did I detect a bit of condensation when you mentioned they cracked a bottle of beer instead of wine? Sounds to me like you're a bit of a food snob, and no, you don't get to tell people, even your husband, what they can or cannot put on the food they are eating, no matter who made it. For me, you're the asshole. The second one, and we kind of mentioned this, no assholes here. It's polite to try new foods before modifying them. on one hand. And the other, if you're a spice fiend, you already know that cream sauces need all the help they're going to get. The third one, some people like hot sauce. People should be able to eat their food the way they enjoy it. It literally affects you not at all. The food you prepared is still eaten and enjoyed and presumably appreciated. It seems a bit controlling to try and dictate how other people eat. The fourth one is no assholes here as well, but says, you say that's how you were raised, but not how your husband was raised. If he didn't grow up with the same values about cooking, then expecting him to share them without speaking to him about it isn't very fair. When things cool down, explain it to him the way you did us. Help him understand, but also be open to seeing things the way he does too. I don't know.
That's way too much. Just she needs to get over it. I mean, coming from a good place, but even that is like babying her too much.
Mhm.
Like,
I agree.
deal with it.
Deal with it. That is the message on today's edition of Judgment Day. Well, we've cast a decree. We shall move on to another judgment. We will see you soon. Peace out.
Bye.